I am very happy to meet all my affectionate sisters and brothers in this spiritual evening today, tonight, better tonight. And I hope that today's talk will give you much joy, since I think this is the most important aspect of our life. So I will deal with some certain subject which is really not, I can say, very new, but this normally occurs in the life of all of us. It is about the guru and disciple, master and disciple relationship. The first important thing is to know why do we need master? Why anybody needs a master? What is the purpose to get a master? Can we not live without master? Can we not survive without master? So this is something I think everybody should think, that why their life is full of misery, it is full of problems, it is full of unresolved issues. So such types of always dilemmas, riddles, paradoxes, they arrive in our life, and we feel on many occasions very helpless, very depressed, how to make our life free from all these anxieties and worries. So this is a very crucial point in the life of a person, that how he can be worry free, how he can be anxiety free, how he can be or she can be restlessness free. So in this respect, we think that when we are in a trouble, we are in some very disgusted mood, very frayed tempers, very abominable situations, then we want the need to get assistance from somebody, some help from somebody, so that we can go out of this difficult situation, this inconvenient and this torturing situation. So naturally, a person who helps us, who guides us to get out of this crisis is our master, is our guide, is our real friend. So the purpose of the guide or the master is very important in life. If we get a right guide, a right master, a right person to show us a right path, then we will always lead a life of happiness, life of success. So the only thing everybody wants and everybody thinks is how to get success, how to resolve the problems one is facing every moment in the life. So here, when I'm talking about the master, a guide, it is not just a guide or master in our school or in our college or in our tutorials or in coaching centers. The master here, for which the Sanskrit word used is, has a very deep implication. It has a very deep meaning, deep essence, deep understanding. The word itself carries a very significance, great significance, when we try to know and understand its real meaning. Gu means darkness, the all-round darkness, not darkness only in the physical field, but darkness in also psychic field, darkness also in spiritual field. In all the three strata of our life, we feel the need of a guide who can take out of this darkness. So the other letter, Ru, means dispeller, or light, we can say. There is darkness and we want to go to light. So in the life we find that we are always surrounded by bondages, by difficulties, inconveniences. So naturally, the need of someone who can show us the path so that the bondages we are presently living can be removed and we feel ourselves free. So Gu and Ru, they are very significant words. Our forefathers, the great sages, the great saints who coined this word, did it with a great sense, with a great understanding, inner understanding. So the need of a master, real master, is actually a very basic need of our life. So these masters which we get in our schools, colleges and other institutions, they help us in alphabetical knowledge or some, I can say, this type of knowledge which help us in worldly life. But the Guru I am talking is not simply helpful in our physical life, but he also apprises us. He gives us the insight to understand the purpose of life, the goal of life, where we want to take our life, to what destination. So this clear understanding that I have a purpose, I am not born just without any proper direction on which I have to move, which gives me always a guidance where we have to go. So the here guide means a spiritual guide and a supreme guide. It is not only a guide in the physical stratum, not only in psychic stratum, and also not in spiritual stratum. It is in all the stratum. So this means that to be a real guide or real guru is not a joke. It is not an easy task. So the first person who dwelt on this issue, on this need of a very basic need, a real need of human life, was Sadashiva, Lord Sadashiva. He was the first person who dwelt on this science, I can say, on this treatise, I can say, on this topic and on this philosophy of having a spiritual proper guide. So he had described that there are three types of gurus, there are three types of guide. One is that he gives some guidance, but he is not concerned whether the disciple is following that guidance. He is trying to absorb it in his life, emulate in his life, and act according to the guidelines set by him. He has just taught and then he left it there itself. The middle order, this is the worst type of guide, worst type of guru. But the middle order of guru, the middle category of gurus, we can say he guides, he gives teachings how to move on the correct path, right path, how to solve difficulties and our impending problems, But at the same time, he also occasionally asks, are you doing it? Are you acting on my guidance? But not very serious. Just a casual talk, a casual inquiry. But the best category of guide, best category of guru is one who teaches. He asks about the progress and about efforts made by the disciple to emulate his teachings. And if he finds that the disciple is not moving forward with the proper spirit, with the proper speed, then he also takes action against him. If required, he scolds him. He also punishes him so that the disciple is corrected and he takes to the righteous course in his journey towards the fulfillment of, towards the final achievement of life. So the guru is very important in this respect, and that's why Sadashiva has also described the essential qualities of guru, that what are the requirements which make a guru perfect, which make a guru a real guru. He says, Shanto, Danto, Pulinascha, Vinita, Shuddha Veshavan, Shuddhachari, Supratisthita, Suchir Dakha, Subuddhiman, Asrami, Dhyana Nishthascha, Tantra Mantra Vishardah, Nigraha Nigrahe Shakto, Guru Rityavidhiyate. So these are the qualities, the attributes, the inherent ingredients which every person who aspires to be guru, a real guide, must possess. First he says Shanto means his mind is totally under control. Danto, this means his Indriyas, sensor and motor organs, his propensities, they are also under his control. Kulinascha, his Kula Kundalini, the divine power which is in our existence at Muladhara Chakra, it is always under his control. And I can say from my own experience that the Kula Kundalini is always touching his Sahasrara Chakra, and therefore he is always in a state of divinity. Maintaining a physical body, he is always in a state of the supreme beatitude, the supreme knowledge, the supreme wisdom. Therefore, any guidance that comes from him, any word that is spoken by him, contains the essence of divinity. Everything is worthwhile. So he says, Kuli, this means his Kul Kundalini is always under his control. And Kulinascha Vinita is a very polite, in spite of all the great achievements. He is not arrogant, he is not egoistic. There is no semblance of any bragging about his greatness. Vinita Suddha Veshwan, and he is all holy. His every action is pure and pious, and he always wears clean clothes. His attire is sentient and very clean. Suddha Veshwan and Suddhachari, his conduct is totally pure. There is no impurity. Suddhachari, Supratisthita, he is well established. He survives on righteous pabulum, righteous way of earning. it is not that he accepts some thing from his disciples which comes from unrighteous earning. He is always in a condition in which only righteous uh, righteous food is given to him, and he does not accept anything which comes from unrighteous source, unrighteous way of earning. Supratisthita, Suchir Dakha, Suchi means holy. He is all holy, purified, personified, holiness personified, and Daksha means he is efficient in the practical aspect, not only in theoretical aspect. He is expert, his expertise in physical as well as in theoretical as well as in practical aspect. He is a learned person, and besides that learned, he also knows the practicality of the learning. So Suchir Dakha, Subuddhiman, and his refined intellect. There is no vulgarity. There is no, I can say, any lowliness, any degradation in his intellectual potentiality. Suchir Dakha, Subuddhiman, Ashrami, he is a family person, because the family person can teach a family person about spirituality. If a sannyasi teaches, he may have some inferiority complex that only after becoming a sannyasi, a renunciate, a person can become a spiritually elevated person. So that's why Shiva says that he should be a family man. Family man should be the guru. And Asrami Dhyana Nishtascha, he is always in the dhyana of meditative status of Parampurusha. He is not that mundane problems or mundane attractions can affect him. Nishtascha, dhyan nishtascha, and tantra mantra visharda means theoretical as well as practical spirituality is always flowing from him. Tantra mantra visharda. Visharda means he is perfect in all the disciplines of knowledge, and not only knowledge of one scriptures or two scriptures, but his knowledge, all knowing. He's an all knowing entity. I can say he has the complete control, complete achievement of the knowledge of the infinity. He knows all the languages, all the subjects, all the disciplines of human endeavor, human activity. Everything is known to him, nothing is unknown to him. Once a disciple of Sri Sri Anandamurti ji asked him when he was traveling in Germany, that how is it that he was able to say about the origin, benefit, utility of the flowers, of the land, mountains, rivers of Germany when he had never visited it before, and nor he had read it about it earlier. How he could say without any physical connection with Germany? And the reply of Anandamurti ji was that my child, I am not ignorant about anything. nothing is unknown to me. So this is a clear recognition of his all-knowingness, that he was an all-knowing entity. Nothing was unknown to him. So Tantra Mantra Visharadaha Nigraha Nugraha Shakto. Nigrah means discipline, strictness, that the real master is very strict in the conduct of the disciples, in the life of the disciples, and at the same time his anugraha means he is also affectionate. He is like a commanding father, a commanding leader, and affectionate father. He has both the qualities, kathor and komal, softness and hardness, are mixed together in his personality. Nigraha, Nugraha, Supto, Guru, Rite, Vidhiyate. So these are the qualities, Shiva has said, a guru must possess. Real guru, he used to call Param Guru, the supreme guide. And as we all know, that the supreme entity, the supreme consciousness has three important roles. One is of supreme progenitor, he is the Parampita, the supreme father. Another is of supreme controller, that supreme maintainer, supreme sustainer. Not only that he has created, but also he maintains, and he also takes care of everything which he has created. And lastly, he is the supreme guide. He is the real guide. So these qualities, I think it is not possible in ordinary human life to attain. And as Sri Krishna has said, and Sri Anmurti ji has also explained in so many words, that he says, Sri Anmurti ji says that Brahmaiva Gurureka Napara. Only Brahma, the supreme entity alone, can be Guru, none else. Why does he say like this? It is because a person having the realization of perfection, having attained the perfection, alone can give a perfect guidance. Others cannot give. An imperfect entity having an imperfect knowledge cannot lead us to the realization of perfection, to the fulfillment of the life, to the satisfaction of our thirst. So that's why we find that Guru is perfect in every respect, and this perfection cannot be found in humans. That's why the supreme entity takes a physical form. Sri Krishna says, Sambhavami Juge Juge. I take birth in every ages when the society is in need of the guidance from the supreme entity. So here I will say that the Shiva has described the qualities which a guru, Param Guru must possess. And this has been accepted by Sri Krishna when he says that Srijamyaham, Tadatmanam Srijamyaham, that when there is a big crisis in society, then I am born. I take physical birth. I am the infinite entity, supreme entity, but I assume human form when there is such a big crisis, when dharma is on decline, and when humanity is at the crossroad, and people virtually become intellectually bankrupt. So then Sri Krishna says that he is born. The Lord is born in physical form. The Lord is everywhere. Every existence is his manifestation. But in that particular moment, the Lord with his perfect, with his infinite attributes, takes a human form. So that is a special manifestation, which Sri Anmurti Ji says, Mahashambhuti. So this is, I think, clear that we are in need of a guide. We try to find guide so that guide can free us from the problems. He can show us the path which can lead to happiness and glories, and our life becomes full of joy, full of a saga of success, all around success. But then the question is how we can identify that such a person whom we accept as Guru is really the manifestation of the Supreme Divinity. Really, he is in a position, he is really competent to give me perfect guidance. So that's why this the desire, this longing, or this inquiry of humans has been very nicely responded by Sri Shanmurti Ji when he says that Muktya Kancha Sadguru Prapti. When we have real intention, real desire that we should be free from the bondage, we should be free from the limitations, free from the imperfections. When this desire is intense, real desire is there, then we will reach Him. Or the Supreme Lord will make such circumstances that we'll be able to identify Him. And then a great dawn will arrive in our life when our every moment will be full of joy. And that's why Sri Kabir Das, he says that शीश दिए जो गुरु मिले तो भी सस्ता जान. That if we get the real Guru, then, and if we get the real Guru, even by offering our life, even by laying down our life, then also we should not feel that we have lost anything. Rather, we should feel that I very easily got Guru, because attaining the real Guru is something unequally glorious. It is such an attainment which has no parallel. So that's why any price is small for it. Even our life is very small if in the effort for attaining the Guru. So when he says that Mukta Kancha Sadguru Prapti, that our desire, our longing for emancipation, for liberation, for salvation leads us to the real Guru. So one thing also is inherent, it is also latent in this guidance of Sri Shanmurti Ji, that this inspiration to get that longing strong and intense is also not possible without blessings from Him, without the grace from Him. Because of His grace, there is an inner inspiration and inner urge to attain real Guru. And you know, people like Ratnakar, who later became Valmiki, or people like Ramakrishna Paramahansa, who finally attained Guru in the form of Totapuri. So all these such great people who attained the Guru had to pass through some situation of great restlessness. They were always feeling an unquenchable thirst. How I will get a Guru who can really guide me for the attainment of perfect peace, perfect bliss. This world has always deceived. It has always put me in greater problems, and no teacher and no remedy has been able to give real contentment to my mind. So this the suffering which a mind gets, the restlessness which a mind experiences in the absence of the joy, in the absence of the perennial bliss and peace, this suffering actually is a blessing from the Lord. It arouses deep desire from Him. We feel that we are imperfect, and only someone who is perfect can redeem us from this tragic situation. So that's why apparently it appears that we had the longing to get Him, and we got Him because of our intense longing. But behind this intense longing also is His grace. Without His grace, that intense longing was not possible. This is also a reality. But this reality is realized very lately in life, not immediately. We have to make much endeavor, we have to make much effort, and when the Lord feels that He really wants me, then He appears in one form or another form, or we get someone to guide us to some correct person who can be our real guide. Like, when a child is crying for mother, mother comes and gives him some toy, and the child is happy to get the toy, and the child starts playing with the toy. But when he finds that the mother has left after giving the toy, he starts crying again. And mother comes again, and this time she gives him some toffee, lemon juice, biscuit, something sweet, which can make the child happy after eating it. And the child starts eating, feels very, very happy, and the mother leaves. And after some time, a few minutes, when the child finds that the mother is not here, it again starts weeping. So this, this weeping is the absence of mother creates a desire for mother. And mother tries to pacify the suffering of the child because of her absence by offering toy, by offering some good edibles. So similarly, in the world, Lord gives us lots of allurements, inducements in various forms, name, fame, money, position, so many things. We are mad after these things, and life, is always moving from one restlessness to another restlessness. There is no peace in the mind, there is no bliss in the life. It is always a movement from one imperfection to another imperfection, from one suffering to another suffering. But when the sufferings, after sufferings, when trauma after trauma continues to arrive in our life, so the little joy which we get becomes very unimportant for us. Then we realize that this joy finally will end into misery. It will finally lead us to suffering. And then there is a real desire for going out of the suffering and for the attainment of God, for coming closer to the God. So it is grace of the God which really is the cause of inspiration within our mind. And people normally abhor, they hate suffering, but still there is suffering and suffering in life. Whatever little joy they feel, that joy ultimately ends into suffering. So we should take suffering as an indication from the Lord that the worldly joy is an illusion. It is not a real joy. We should not run after it. We should utilize the world for service, for our own survival, for helping the deprived persons. It should not be used, it should not be taken as a means of satisfying our inner thirst, our desire for inner happiness. So this is something, a message which comes to us from God in the form of suffering. So suffering is really a blessing. So that's why the disciple goes to the master, the real master, in this his intense yearning, longing is also very important. If the mother feels that the child is happy with the biscuit, with the lemon juice, with the toffee, with the toys, then the mother also does not care for the child and she is doing her own work in the kitchen or elsewhere. Similarly, when God finds that people are busy in running after the worldly happiness, worldly pleasure, then God also feels assured that, oh, I have not to worry for them. They are themselves very intelligent and they are trying to resolve their problems themselves. What is the need of mine to enter into their life? So that's why, unless we feel the need of mother, unless we feel to enjoy the sweetness of the life of mother, mother will also not try to thirst her presence in the life of the child. Similarly, God also wants to see whether we really want Him, whether we really desire His presence. And when He finds that the desire is real, yearning is real, then He appears. Then nobody can separate us from Him. So that's why the desire, yearning for Him is very important. We should not be swayed away by the worldly currents, by the effect of, by the presence of the three forces of Prakriti, Parama Prakriti, sentient, mutative, and static. Satogun, Rajogun, Tamogun, they are always, capturing our mind in various ways. So we should always aspire that while living in the world, our mind should move towards the supreme entity for which the human life has been blessed, human life has been granted to us. And the role of the guru in a disciple's life is very important. That if there is no guru, there is no real guide, then the life is, it becomes such a boredom that one runs after one object to another object. People see various serials, various programs in the TV, and they go on changing channels so that the newer and newer programs are before their eyes and before their mind. So why do they do it? It is because a program which is witnessed by them, which is seen by them, the program is not able to give the joy or happiness to the mind for a long period. So the mind requires another object to satisfy itself, and that compels the mind to move to another object. So that's why the world, which is full of the finite objects with their finite capacity to give finite happiness, cannot be the real goal of life. And this is unless understood by us properly, and we start behaving in the righteous way, we move on the correct path to reach the supreme joy, Guru always comes to our aid. He always comes to help us. So that's why uh, mm, the glories of Guru, which is said by Shiva in Guru Vandana, in Guru Puja, that when we offer our salutation to him, then he says, Akhanda Mandalakaram, Vyaptam Jena Characharam, Tatpadam Darshitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. That indivisible is an indivisible entity, and that indivisible entity manifests in the different forms. He is present in mobile as well as in immobile existence. I offer my salutation to his divine feet. Ajnana timirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya. My mind was always blinded by ignorance, by the darkness, Sumerian darkness. And when the Guru came in my life, when the Supreme Teacher came, he, with the help of the balm, opened my eyes, and I was able to get the real knowledge. I was able to see a real vision which gave me a permanent peace and permanent bliss. And Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Reva Parama Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. That means he says, it is the words of, these are the words of Shiva, that Guru is the supreme creator, Guru is the supreme maintainer, sustainer, Guru is the supreme destroyer, and Guru is the supreme consciousness. So Guru is everything in the life of a disciple. So a disciple who has surrendered his everything at the feet of Guru, he can surely move towards success. Nobody can stop his success. So the role of Guru is very important in the life of disciple. You know, Ratnakara, Tulsidas, Kabir, Nanak, all these great people, when we see their history, we find that they were always in quest of the Guru, the guide, and as soon as they got him, they feel greatly blessed. And about Ram Krishna, you will be surprised to know that when he met Totapuri, then Totapuri felt, because of his very elevated mind, that Ram Krishna has the potentiality, he has the proper mindset to realize the Supreme. But because of ideation on Kali, his mind is stuck. It does not go forward. So he wanted that this great sadhak should realize the supreme entity for which this human life has been given. And therefore he offered him to give proper guidance. Then Ram Krishna said that let me ask the mother if mother permits me to learn it, then alone I will learn spiritual science from you. Then Ramakrishna goes and he meditates and he has the vision of Kali, and he says that, Mother, should I learn the spiritual science which Totapuri wants to teach me? And he gets such a reply that, okay, you must go and do not delay and learn it from him. So he comes and he asks Totapuri to teach him this intuitional science which can lead him to the realization of the supreme entity. And then he was taught the intuitional science, the yoga sadhana by Totapuri. And Ramakrishna Paramahansa started meditating. But when his Kul Kundalini reached Agya Chakra, there the image of Kali appeared, and he became totally absorbed in that image, and the mind could not go up. Thereafter, when he came out of that state of trance, then he said that, you see, my sadhana of Kali is enough. This spiritual science which you have taught me, I cannot practice it. It is not of my cup of tea. But Totapuri knew that because of his attachment with the image of Kali, his mind is not able to go forward. So he said that you try again. And Ramakrishna tried again, but he faced the same situation again. Again, the image of Kali came and he could not go above Agya Chakra. So Totapuri said, well, you make an last attempt. And here, when Ramakrishna was meditating, then he took a piece of broken glass and Totapuri hit his Agya Chakra with that glass and took away that image of Kali from his mind, which was not allowing him to go above Agya Chakra. And then his mind, moved towards Sahasrara Chakra, and he remained in Samadhi for long period, about which Totapuri said that what Ramakrishna got in few minutes, I had to do sadhana for 50 years to get it. So this our sanskaras, our past actions and reactions, they create obstacles, and not obstacles, but they also discourage us to move on that path. And at the same time, this avidya maya, this extroversive forces of Parampurusha, that also takes our mind outside. These two forces, our own sanskaras, our own past actions, and these three gunas of Prakriti, they create, obstacles in our onward journey towards the Supreme Entity. And a person who is able to move with his strong determination, with his strong willpower, then these obstacles become very big, and his journey is very glorious, a glorious victory on the imperfections of life, on the bondages of life. And a person who is a real genuine sadhaka, he finds that the guru which he had attained has made his life blissful and full of joy and happiness. So the role of guru is very significant, and one must not feel that this life is only for living and enjoying the comforts of life, because all those comforts, all those joys of life one day keep us dissatisfied. They keep our mind full of restlessness. I had visited one person who was millionaire, rather billionaire, and I found that he actually wanted some of one of his friends to bring a saint who can give him guidance, give him some teaching for uh, acquiring mental peace, because his mind was very much disturbed. There was great tension in his family life, and there was also chance that there may be divorce between his son and his daughter-in-law, and he was thinking that if the divorce actually takes place, then there will be very bad reputation. So he was very much worried, and in that situation of worry, I visited him. So when he took me to his dining room for offering some, snacks, etc., I found that everything in his dining room was made of silver. His chair, table, spoons, dishes, glass, tumbler, everything was of silver. It was shining, brilliantly. And that person whose crores of rupees were only in his dining table, so we can imagine how wealthy he was. And all this wealth was unable to give him mental peace. He was spending restless nights, and he used to taking sleeping pills for his sleep. And he also used to take pills so that he may not sleep for longer period, may not oversleep, and which may cause great problem, physical problem for him, or he may also die. So he has to take another pill so that he can get up at the right time. So one pill for sleep, another pill for getting up. So his life was full of pills. And he used to, I saw so many medicines were there, and there was no mental peace. His money was spent after doctors, after medicines, and just running from one astrologer to another, from one saint to another. And this way, he could not enjoy the joy of having so much wealth. So that's why, it is a great tragedy in our life that we are not able to understand the real purpose for which we have been born as human. It is Guru who gives us the teaching, proper teaching. He acquaints us with the real goal, and also guides us, and also keeps eye that we reach the goal. Our life does not remain stagnant. It is always vibrant, full of dynamism, joy, happiness, enthusiasm. Life feels a purpose. It is not just I came with a, the stroke of air, and just I was moving in the stormy wind of the creation. Life has a great purpose, because human life has been available to us after millions and millions of years. So let us not waste this life, and let us go be in search of the real guide, bona fide guide, which I have already mentioned, that he must at least have the all-knowing qualities, all-knowingness, omniscience. He is perfect in omniscience. He can be our true guide, real guide. May God bless you. May you attain such a guide and move on the path of glorious spiritual life. May the supreme experience dawn in everybody's life. With these good wishes, I conclude my talk here. Namaskar.